Salutations, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have something super fun. If you follow me on Twitter, you know that I am super big into flow arts. I love gloving, finger shows. I kind of get into orbiting, but not that good. I appreciate all flow arts, so hoopers, poi, fire, flow, like all of it. I am absolutely in love. So with this video today, I'm actually going to kind of go over a few beginner steps that you can take up if you just started gloving or if you've been wanting to glove, all that good stuff. And then actually show you a few of the stretches and stuff I use on the daily just to help my finger dexterity and all that beautiful stuff. So without further ado, let's get started. So we're gonna do an actual flow at the end of the video, but I'm actually waiting for one of my favorite artists, Lane 8, to get onto live stream. So in about 15 minutes they're gonna do that, and then I'm actually gonna show you some flow, there's some music. But for now, I'm gonna show you some of the stretches that I start with. So I'm gonna get a little bit closer to ya. By the way, representing Zed's Dead. Bang bang. God, I love the boys. Okay. So one thing that really helps with your finger movements and practicing like your finger rolls is practicing like your dexterity, all that good stuff. So some really good stretches and things to practice while you're getting good on that. So that, you're only gonna wanna bend where your knuckles at. You're gonna try to not move any of the other fingers. Pinkies are hard. And this will help if you do like a lot of digiting and like weird, crazy stuff in your shows. Another stretch that really helps me stretch out my fingers and get the best length that my fingers can get, even though they're small, is this guy. So you just want to stretch them. Kind of like you were stretching like your leg or your arm. Same concept. Just want to stretch them. This one's always the hardest because this finger right here is the one I have the most trouble with. Boom. Stretching. Woo! Another thing I personally somewhat struggle with this, it's gonna be finger rolls. I'm really good when it comes to the top ones. The bottom ones, my hands kind of get a little sloppy. With finger rolls, the key is to basically just keep it like an ever-going motion. Something someone taught me when I first started flowing was when the two hands connect, you want to keep those like together. Sorry, you're gonna want to keep like those together. So when you're doing a roll, down, 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 down. I'll show you. That way it looks clean. Same with the bottom. Still a little messy. Told you, I'm not a professional glover. I don't think I'm a professional glover. I am a little bit experienced. I've been gloving for about 3.5 years now, 3 years. I definitely just want to put out my advice and what has been taught to me and pass it on to you. And another thing with finger rolls, so if you don't really know how to get a finger roll down and you're kind of in limbo, you really don't know like how to do it, it's just going to be one finger at a time, and definitely practice with it. I'm always in my car practicing new moves or just like walking around and doing stuff, so definitely just practice, practice, practice. That will make perfect, most important thing. So with the finger roll, one finger at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4, keep the pinkies together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Super messy. Let's try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Boom. Same with the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So. And a key with that is, I really don't know how to explain this, but as soon as this side is starting to lift up, you're gonna wanna put these fingers down. Up and down. One of the first things that people told me when I began to flow was to slow it down. And at first it might just sound like really annoying and you're like, that's just the way I flow, but no, listen to them because they just want you to have a cleaner show. It looks better when it's slowed. It matches the musicality more and it just looks really pretty. So like, as opposed to something like that, which still looks like okay. Boom. Another thing I want to tell you about if you are beginning to glove, a good way to think about it, because a lot of people, you know, they start flowing, then they get stuck, and then they don't know what to do. Think of your space in front of you, around you, all around you, your whole space that you are in when you're flowing. Think of it as a grid. Think of it as like a multi-dimensional grid. So you can go up and down, you can go to the side, and then you can cross out. You can do literally anything. It'll really help your movement so you're not all over the place. You can go, like I said, you can go side to side, you can go front, back. Another thing that really helps with your shows is if you add a little bit of depth. So let's just say that you have something going on up here. You can use your other hand to create like a depth. Switch it. A lot of times I see people doing like clocking. Forgive me, I'm not very good at clocking. They have like some crazy stuff like that. I am dyslexic. Sometimes my fingers and my eyes, they just don't visually learn stuff like that. So I'm kind of self-taught with that kind of stuff. So another thing I wanted to show you, probably the last little technique before we get into like a flow groove, is gonna be your whips. So something I'll tell you, something that was also told to me, is when you're practicing your whips, try doing them against a wall. That way you can really get the flat surface of your thumb, and it's flat and you're not like out. You're kind of looks like a clean, same fluid motion. Let me practice on my wall to show you how it'll look, because I know that sounds confusing. So here's my wall. I really don't know how else to show you this. So that's like flat. If you're not throwing it out, it's probably gonna look like this, which is fine. That doesn't look too sloppy. But if you really have it flat, you see all the fingers, and yeah, looks good. So one, this guy's gonna come over here. One, this guy's gonna come over back. One, wow, 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 wow. Woo! Another concept that is in gloving is going to be tracing. That's going to be a lot of the, it's going to be a lot of this type of stuff where you're tracing with your finger and you're having a good time. You have no worries because you're just tracing. Pretty self-explanatory. There are all kinds of crazy people who like do some crazy, they like go through here and then that way and then like trace back through here. They just like do some really insane stuff. I am not that advanced. I can't do it. There are other videos online, so if you want to get super in-depth with the tracing, definitely take a look at some of those because I can't do that. Another concept I use in my shows is going to be like a mirroring type of deal. So when I do like a split hand type of thing, out, out, middle, that type of stuff. Mirroring doesn't have to just be when like your hands are touching. Mirroring could be like anytime your hands are doing anything. So like you have two hands on each side, you're thinking of your grid, you're going up, down, that way. This finger goes out, that one goes out, same. Yeah, I like the concept of mirroring. I think it looks really cool. Or reverse mirroring, which is basically just like something like that. Something like that. One concept I want to show you before this video gets way too long is going to be clusters. Clusters are really cool. They're fun. They always make your show look weird. With clusters, you basically are just going to make points to which you can spread. So let's say I have this cluster right here. I can move these two. I can move this one alone. I can move these two together. I can move this one alone. I can move these two together, and so on and so forth. So the point of clusters is you basically just want to get to each point as creatively as possible. As you can see, I'm not that skilled with it either. When I do it, it kind of just comes out. I can't really just do certain moves on spot. It is just kind of in the moment. A lot of my shows are in the moment. So there's that. But yeah. So also another thing to kind of make your show look a little bit cleaner and neater is going to be your transitions, which basically is when you go from like one move to the other, all that good stuff. I know it's really hard when you first start gloving to kind of do that, and I promise the more you practice, the better it will be. Don't just expect it to happen right away. Practice makes perfect. As I've said before, you will get it down. It just takes some time. Basically, just how you get into your next move is going to be your transition. Keys to making it neat is just making sure it all flows. Boom, boom, boom. That's one sequence. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Another sequence. Boom, 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 boom. Twist it around, boom. Whatever. Just how you get from one point to another. It's gonna be a transition. Just work on it. When I first started, my transitions literally looked like this is my finger roll, and then I would go from there, and I would literally just do some crazy shit. Just make it flow. Yeah. Those are some of my basic tips and tricks. I'm gonna give you a flow video. Definitely comment and tell me what type of gloving concepts you want to learn next. Give me some feedback. If there's anything in my show that you want me to go over how to do, just drop it in the comments. And yeah, let's go. Let me know what you guys think. So much love to all of you. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, give me ideas, and I hope you have a wicked rest of your day.